We love LaDainian Tomlinson in every way, shape, and form. He's here on the Rich Eisen Show. How are you, LT?
I'm doing wonderful, Rich. How are you, my friend?
Well, first of all, I've spoken to you since your Pro Football Hall of Fame off the air. So on the air, congratulations. That was an awesome speech at a great weekend.
Thank you, man.
And also, to prove one of the many reasons why you are in the Pro Football Hall of Fame is you're coachable, and you take good ideas and you execute them to perfection. And when we told you why not reveal your bust by teardropping the covering off of it, you did that, did you not, LaDainian Tomlinson?
I did. And you're right. I take coaching very well, and I'm typically a guy that can do exactly what the coach asked me to do. So you gave me, you gave me the idea, and you kind of ran it down to me of how the play is supposed to go, and the diagram was perfect, and I pulled it off.
And you executed, and just like the old days, you had Lorenzo Neal start the play in a way, and you followed right behind him.
Absolutely.
And again, before we get to this, the way you finished the speech was inspiring to many. What's been the follow-up as you were made a call for unity from the podium in early August in Ohio, LT?
Well, I think the follow-up is what we seen from the Cleveland Browns just last week before the game during the national anthem. A call for unity where they had the police department and the fire department lock arms with the players around the stadium. And that's a sign of unity. To me, that's what Team America represents. All people, all backgrounds, all cultures, races, doesn't matter, coming together to represent the highest ideals of mankind and moving this nation forward. And so that was extremely great to see from my point of view.
LT of the NFL Network and also from FedEx, and we'll get to that in a moment here on the Rich Eisen Show. What do you think Adrian Peterson's thinking right now, today, after everything we saw on Monday night from the few carries and few snaps and then the stare down he had with his coach that he backtracked from?
Well, I just think he's probably searching within himself to kind of come to grips with his role on that team. Maybe he expected to be a guy to go in and take control in that backfield and be a 20-carry guy again. But I think the reality is that he understands he's going to be one of the running backs by committee in that offense. And that's a tough thing to come to grips with. Man, I just think the quicker that he's able to say, you know what, okay, I'm only going to get 5 to 10 carries a game, and I'm okay with that. I'm going to make the best of it. The faster he's able to come to grips with that, I think the better he will be for that team. Because I still think there's value that he adds to that football team, especially, in times where they're going to be up in the fourth quarter and they need to close out a game or they need a touchdown on the goal line or in the red zone. I think he can add value to that football team. But he cannot add value if he's still thinking that he's going to be a 20-carry type of guy, because he's going to be on the sideline frustrated, just like he was this past Monday.
Well, I mean, part of the frustration had to be he's in Minnesota, right? I mean, what if, your first game with the Jets was in San Diego, right? And in front of the whole country on Monday Night Football, and you're sitting there watching, even though, someone of Mark Ingram's caliber is worthy of the carries on the goal line. How did you go through all of that with the Jets, LT?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think, for me, I was realistic about my role on that team. I went in and I knew that Sean Green, he was going to be the starter. They drafted him to be the starter there. And I would be a guy to do third downs mostly, but also, kind of fill in. And, things changed. Obviously, my first year, things didn't go according to plan. I ended up being a starter and all those kinds of things. But initially, it's about the mindset, Rich. I went in saying, this is who I'm going to be, and I'm okay with that. I knew I still would have a prominent role on that team, as a pass catcher coming out the backfield. And so in this case, I really believe Adrian expected to have at least 15 to 20 carries, especially going back to Minnesota. And so when that didn't happen, I think that's what you seen, the frustration of him kind of yelling at Sean Payton and saying, "Hey, let's run the football, get me involved."
And let me ask you this, LT. You were drafted very high in the draft, and then we didn't see many running backs go top 5. Now we saw Zeke Elliott go top 5 last year, and what he did for the Cowboys, turning things around. Now we're seeing Fournette go in the same spot, and he had a great week 1. Kareem Hunt, a spectacular week 1. We're seeing all these young running backs, Dalvin Cook, Christian McCaffrey, even Tariq Cohen with Chicago. How do you think we're seeing a new advent and a new wrinkle in this copycat league where kids come from college and can shine at the running back spot right away?
I think so. More particularly, I think in the pass game, they are more advanced, I believe, in the pass game from a lot of these systems that are in college football right now. So running the football, it doesn't require a lot to be able to carry the football. Great instincts, reactions, and all those kinds of things is something that can help you as a young guy. And to be able to sustain that, you gotta grow. You gotta evolve into being a guy to read defenses and all those kind of things. But initially, as a runner, it's not very hard. What's hard is understanding the pass game. And the fact that these guys are doing it in the pass game right now, it's pretty impressive. It really is. And I think it bodes well for the future of the game at the running back position that these guys can now come in right away and be able to contribute in the passing game like they have been so far.
A few more minutes with LaDainian Tomlinson, courtesy of FedEx here on the Rich Eisen Show. The next man mentality is a real thing within locker rooms in the NFL. Outside of it, folks like us in the media and fantasy football players watch David Johnson go down and think the Cardinals are toast for 2017. What do you think about David Johnson's injury that might keep him out until December, if not indefinitely?
Oh, man, it's so unfortunate. It really is, because this guy was getting ready to take off. He was a huge part of that offense. Probably can say he was going to be about 40% of that offense. And now not to have him there, there's nobody that you can get to do what he has done and can do. They just don't make guys like him every single day, and you can't find them off the street. You can't trade for them. And so I tell you, I agree with you. I think it's going to be an uphill battle for the Arizona Cardinals because they have to be able to run the football. And I love Carson, but the way Carson looked in week 1, I don't think they're going to be able to rely on the passing game. They're not going to be able to beat people throwing the football.
So ask him the poll question before we get to FedEx. Brockman, go for it.
Yeah, well, Daniel, which 1-0 team right now is the biggest smokescreen? Bills, Jags, Rams, Ravens.
Oh, man, that's a good one. I'm not going to say the Jags because that was pretty impressive. They're playing some defense. They're playing good defense. They can run the football. I'm going to go with the Rams, just because I don't know yet, what this team is going to be about. And in that division, to me, it's still about Seattle. Seattle is going to be the head of that division. And Goff, I want to see a little bit more from him. He looked good in week 1, obviously, but he was playing against the Colts. So, and I just being honest, I know I'm an analyst, but I can't name one player on the Colts defense, guys. I can't. Vontae Davis is hurt. So I don't know who else is out there. So I'm going to say the Rams.
All right, LT. Now tell me about the annual FedEx Aaron Ground Player of the Week, and tell me about the donation that's involved as well here.
Yeah, so the 15th season, Rich, of the Aaron Ground program that FedEx is doing, and so a little bit about it, but each week the fans can vote on the best performances from the quarterback and running back position, and they can vote via Twitter, hashtag Air and Ground, or go online, NFL.com/FedEx, for the best quarterback and running back performances. And also FedEx will make a $2,000 donation to the USO in both the winning quarterback and the running back's name each week of the regular season. So if you're a math guy, that's $4,000 each week going to the USO program. That's pretty good.
All right, LT. You're the man. I'll see you back at the shop.
All right.
You got
Rich.
it.
Thank you.
That's LaDainian Tomlinson, Pro Football Hall of Famer from NFL Network, as well as FedEx, NFL.com/FedEx.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on radio stations across the country and audience.
If you like that video, be sure to download our app, and I'll be sure to move Week 6 games to Saturday for that wedding you have to go to.